I can make text float over my hand. You can make some stunning visual effects using something called masks. And check out this one. You could even have your video sing to you. These are just a few of my favorite CapCut video editing tips and tricks that we're going to look at today. So let's check these out. Tip number 1, and this is a quick one. On mobile, when you create a new project, CapCut by default includes an ending showing the CapCut logo. Now, of course, you can click on this and then you can delete it. But if you'd rather not have to do that every single time you start a project, you can go back to the home screen, then click on the settings gear, and then uncheck this toggle to add the default ending. Now, when you start a new project, you'll no longer have the CapCut logo included. Tip number 2, most people associate CapCut with a mobile video editing experience, but you can also edit videos directly on the web or via a desktop app. To get the web experience, head to the website capcut.com, and then you can click on this button that says Get Started for Free. And that opens up the full-blown editor on the web. The one downside with the web is you have to upload all of your clips to the cloud first before you can start pulling together your project. To get the desktop app, also on CapCut.com, you can click on this download button and you can download the app for either Windows or Mac. The nice thing about the desktop app is you don't have to upload any of your clips. You can just work on all of them locally on your computer. In terms of feature functionality, the mobile apps by far are the most feature-rich, but the desktop app is pretty close behind. And the web experience is by far the most bare bones of the three. Tip number 3, you can convert text to speech or even text to song. Within CapCut, first insert some text and type some text in. Here, I'll type in, Kevin is the best. Once you type in your text, with the text object selected, go up and click on Text to Speech. Here, you'll see a number of voices. Many of them are just the standard voices, and we could listen to what that sounds like.
Kevin is the best.
Some of my favorites include the vocalists, and they'll sing your text. Let's click on this to preview it.
Kevin is the best.
That sounds pretty epic. Once you insert the text-to-speech onto your timeline, it'll insert another audio object right here on the timeline. Tip number 4, CapCut makes it really simple to edit to the beat. This one only works on mobile. Here I am on my timeline, and I have a few different video clips, and I also have a song. Here I can click on the song, and one of the options is titled Match Cut. Let's tap on that. Here I can manually add the beat to my song, but I'd rather have CapCut do the heavy lifting. So here I'll select Auto Detect, and here it finds the beat in the song. And it adds these little yellow dots. When I go back to the main timeline view, I can see those yellow dots on the audio track. Now when I adjust my video clips, it'll snap to those little yellow dots, making it really easy to edit to the beat. Tip number 5, you can play one video on top of another video using something called overlay, or what's sometimes referred to as picture-in-picture. Here in the desktop app, I'll drag one clip down onto the timeline, and then I'll select another clip and drag that down onto the timeline, except I'll place it on the layer above the previous clip. I'll click on the topmost clip and then go up to the preview area, and here I can readjust the size and also adjust the position. And check that out, I now have one video playing on top of another video. Especially if you want the clips to be in sync, you'll have to make sure that they're aligned, and you can use the waveforms to make sure that they're in sync. Here I'll select the topmost video, and this is a really cool feature. In the top right hand corner, I'll select video, then cutout, and then I can tick this box for auto cutout. And look at that, it's just automatically removed the background behind me. That's pretty cool. On mobile, you can do all of this as well. When you click on a clip, you'll have to select the overlay option, and that'll move the clip to another track. To remove the background on a clip, you'll have to click on the clip, then go to remove background, and then remove background again. Tip number 6, CapCut supports green screens, or what's also known as chroma key, and this works on both desktop and mobile. So here once again on my timeline, I have 2 clips, and the topmost layer has a video of me with a green screen behind me, but I just want to overlay the video underneath. I'll select the video clip on top. Then once again, I'll go up into the top right-hand corner and select video, and then cut out. But instead of choosing auto cutout like we did last time, this time I'll select chroma key. And I need to select the color. I'll click on this, and then I'll go over and select the color green. This will remove the color green. I have a few settings over here to fine-tune how it looks. Now, I think this looks pretty good, and there it is. Look at that, I am now overlaying this other video clip. For the best result, you'll want to make sure that your green screen is evenly lit. Now, of the 2 options, I personally prefer this one. I think it ends up with just a cleaner look. Of course, you have to invest in a green screen. Tip number 7, you can use keyframes to pull off some pretty nice effects, like zooming in or panning. Here I am in my timeline, and I have this clip that I want to zoom in on. I'll go to the very beginning of the clip. Then in the top right-hand corner, I'll click on video, and within the basic section, under scale, I'll click on this diamond icon. That inserts my first keyframe. For this one, I'll leave the scale at just 100%. Then I'll go all the way to the end of the clip. And once again, I'll click on this diamond icon. That inserts another keyframe. On this keyframe, I'll adjust the scale to, let's say about 140, maybe 150%. Now, if I go to the very beginning of the clip and play it, you'll notice that it starts zooming in. So it starts at 100% scale, and as it approaches the second keyframe, it moves up to 150% scale. With keyframes, you define the state at one point in time, and then you also define the state at another point in time. And then CapCut will morph between those 2 different keyframes. You can also use keyframes on things like the position, the rotation, the blend. You can even use it for things like audio, where you could adjust the volume. Tip number 8, you can generate auto captions, basically text that matches word for word what you're saying. Within CapCut here, I have a video of myself speaking, and I want this to have some captions. I'll click on text, and within the text group, there's the option for auto captions. When I click on this, it starts listening to all of the audio, and it generates captions that match every single thing that I say. And here now we see captions overlaid on top of my video. That was pretty easy. Now, when you look at the text, the style might not match exactly what you're looking for. I could click on the text and I can go through and I could update the style to something that I like. Once I make my changes to the text, I can set it so it automatically applies it to all of the captions of my video. Tip number 9, you can use jump cuts to make your video just a little bit more interesting. So here's an example. I'm making a point and then it jumps in on me. Then once I'm done making that point, then it jumps back out. This is very easy to do. On your timeline, right at the point where you want to jump in, press the B key. This will open up the blade tool, and then you can split your clip. Then go to the end of the section where you want to jump out again. And once again, with the blade tool here, split the clip once again. Then press the A key. This will open up the selection tool again, and click on the section that you want to jump in on. In the top right-hand corner, you can adjust the scale. So this is what you're jumping in on. Once you're all done, we can play it back, and here you see it's normal, then it jumps in, and then it jumps back out. Tip number 10, tracking, and this one only works on mobile currently. Here in this example, I have text that tracks my hand, so it looks like this text is floating above my hand. This is such a cool effect. Here in CapCut, I already have text, and I have my video clip with my hand out. I'll click on the text. Within text, there's the option for tracking. I'll click on this. Once I select tracking, I now have to select what object I want to track. Here, I'll select my hand. Now, I'll click on tracking. Once it's all done tracking my hand, I can now press on play, and here we'll see that the text is now locked to my hand. And I could track many other types of things as well, and I could lock that to many other types of objects. And this brings us to tip number 11. Unfortunately, this is our very last tip of today, but this is a really good one. You can use masks on mobile and desktop to pull off some pretty amazing visual effects. Let's check out how to pull this one off. Here I have the original video clip up here in my media bin. I'll pull this down onto my timeline and I'll move it up to the higher level track. This will make it a little bit easier to work with, and here I can zoom in a little bit. When I move the playhead, here you'll see that I bike through behind the tree. There I bike through and I bike to the other side. And as I go towards the end, here I run from one side of the tree over to the other side of the tree. So how do we pull off this effect? Well, let's go to the biking portion right here, and I want to cut this clip right at the point where I'm coming out from behind the tree. So right here, I'll press the B key that opens up the blade, and here I can cut it right at that point. Next, I want to click on this clip once again, and here I'll pull it back onto the timeline. So I have the same clip 2 different times, and I want to get these in sync. So here I'll move the playhead forward, and now I want me walking or running behind the tree. And right at this point, I come out from behind the tree. So right here too, I'll also cut the clip right at this point. I'll press the A key to open up the selection tool, and I'll delete this portion. And over here, I'll delete this portion. So once again, here at the beginning of the clip, here I'm biking out from behind the tree, and over here I'm jumping out from behind the tree. Now I'll move this clip all the way to the beginning. So these 2 clips are now completely in sync. This is the running clip, and this is the biking clip. I'll take the biking clip and let me just extend it again so the bike is just entering the frame. And over here, I'll adjust this to match the clip down below. Then with this clip where I'm running, here I want it to end right as I'm walking out of the frame. So here I'll adjust it, and it looks like right at this point is when I walk out. So I'll end it there, and I'll take the bike clip, and here too I'll also end it at that same point. So right now these 2 clips are the exact same length and they're completely in sync. But I want them to show me biking and then I jump out from behind the tree. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to use the magic of masks. I'll take this clip and let me pull it over here. This will make it easier to illustrate what's happening. I'll place my playhead over the running clip, and in the top right hand corner under video, I'll click on mask. And I have a bunch of different mask options. I'll select the one that says split. And right now this has split my clip. Here I'll rotate this so we split it right at this point of the tree. I'll adjust it a little bit so it's on the shadow portion of the tree. That'll result in a slightly better effect. And over here, I can use this to apply some feathering. That way it smooths it out just a little bit. This black area is transparent. So right over here, I can see this clip over on the right-hand side. And in this black area, I see the track that's beneath this running track right up here. Now, when I take this clip and I move it over the biking track, here it'll show the biking over on the left-hand side because that's the lower clip. And then over on the right-hand side, it's showing the track that's above. And that produces this really neat effect where I bike towards the tree and then I jump out the other side. That's one way you can use masks to pull together some pretty impressive effects. All right, well, those are some of my favorite effects in CapCut. Let me know down below in the comments, which one was your favorite? Or even feel free to list ones that I didn't cover. To watch more videos like this one, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.